Thank you all for taking the time out of your busy schedules to join us today. I'm Ken Tamagawa, CEO of SORACOM. Today, I will be presenting our financial results for the first quarter of the fiscal year ending March 2026. First, here is the executive summary. Our first quarter performance progressed largely in line with our plans and remains solid. Recurring revenue, which we place strong emphasis on, grew 19.7% year-on-year to 1.84 billion yen, achieving double-digit growth. Adjusted for currency effects, this represents a 24.6% increase, showing continued strong growth. Total revenue also achieved double-digit growth, up 17.7% year-on-year to 2.22 billion yen. EBITDA rose 29.7% year-on-year to 174 million yen, and GAAP-based operating profit increased 35.0% to 127 million yen, with the profit margin improving by 0.7 points. Next, on business highlights, SORACOM's total number of connections has now surpassed 8 million. We have continued to expand coverage, and our services can now be used in 213 countries and regions through 509 telecommunications carriers. In addition, SORACOM has been strengthening its initiatives in generative AI for several years, working toward becoming a truly after-AI organization. In short, we are transforming into an organization where every role can fully leverage generative AI, enabling smaller teams to achieve greater productivity, and we are already seeing tangible results. At our recent annual event, SORACOM Discovery, we also announced a new strategy that combines generative AI and IoT, the real-world AI superconnector. I will explain this in more detail later. Furthermore, our new joint venture with the Marubeni Group was successfully made a consolidated subsidiary as planned on August 1st. The PMI process is also progressing smoothly, and we expect it to make a significant contribution to our results. So please look forward to further growth from the second quarter onward. That concludes the summary. Today's presentation will proceed in the following order. First, financial results for the first quarter of the fiscal year ending March 2026, followed by business highlights, and finally, growth strategy. Let me begin with the financial results for the first quarter of the fiscal year ending March 2026. This chart shows the quarterly trends in recurring revenue and total revenue. The blue bars represent recurring revenue, stock income from IoT connectivity, AI, and cloud services. The grey bars represent flow income from sales of IoT devices and software, which we refer to as incremental revenue. We place particular emphasis on the blue recurring revenue. In the first quarter, recurring revenue grew approximately 20% year-on-year and about 25% when adjusting for currency effects. It continues to account for more than 70% of total revenue. Incremental revenue tends to fluctuate depending on the timing of device and software deliveries to customers, and has historically been weighted toward the second half of the fiscal year. However, in a major synergy project for KDDI, one of the main reasons for this second half bias, we concluded a comprehensive agreement at the end of March 2025. Establishing a structure that allows earlier execution. Thanks in part to this effect, total revenue, including incremental revenue, achieved double-digit growth in the first quarter, increasing approximately 18% year-on-year. Next, I will explain Q1 operating profit and other figures in comparison with the same period last year. As mentioned earlier, recurring revenue grew 19.7% year-on-year and total revenue rose 17.7%. Gross profit increased 9.3% year-on-year to 122 billion yen. While gross profit growth was slightly slower than revenue growth, this is due to our continued investments in generative AI. SG expenses increased 6.9% year-on-year to 1.9 billion yen. The effects of operational efficiency improvements through generative AI are showing, enabling us to effectively control SGA costs. As a result, EBITDA rose 29.7% year-on-year to 174 million yen. And operating profit grew 35.0% to 127 million yen, representing a significant increase in profitability. One of the initiatives having a major impact on our performance is our work with generative AI. Since the end of 2022, SORACOM has been making full use of generative AI company-wide. We have declared our intent to evolve into an after-AI organization, meaning an organization that is designed for the era after generative AI's emergence, and have been driving this initiative forward. This approach involves keeping human resources to the minimum necessary for essential areas, while promoting reducing headcount requirements through the use of generative AI. For existing businesses, we aim to operate with fewer people by mastering generative AI. The human resources freed up through this efficiency will be reallocated to creating new businesses, enabling us to scale operations with minimal new hiring. Already, new services are being developed by small teams making full use of generative AI. Not only are engineers coding with AI, but back office members have also successfully developed workflow efficiency apps by having generative AI write code for them. At SORACOM, both myself and our leadership team, including Yasukawa, CTO of SORACOM, have strong backgrounds in the latest technologies, and we operate in an international, remote working team across 3 global locations with overseas members. This gives us a strong ability to adapt to changes in industry trends, and we intend to continue driving transformation. In fact, the benefits of our After AI organization initiative are already showing in the numbers. SGA has increased by only 7% year on year, and excluding Carriot, our headcount has hardly grown. As a result, revenue per employee has increased by around 8% year on year, reflecting higher productivity. We will continue to fully leverage generative AI to transform into a high productivity, next generation After AI organization. Looking at the KPIs for recurring revenue, it is calculated as the product of ARPA and the number of paying accounts. In Q1, ARPA rose 6.4% year on year to 801,000 yen, while the number of billing accounts grew 8.3% year on year to 8,100. In the second half of the fiscal year, we expect large-scale overseas projects and connected car projects to gain momentum, driving further growth from here. Please note that these figures currently exclude Carriot and Misora Connect, our new joint venture with the Marubeni Group. Another initiative significantly impacting our performance is the progress on our comprehensive agreement with KDDI. The chart on the left shows the quarterly trend of KDDI synergy revenue. Thanks to the comprehensive agreement, revenue in the first quarter increased by 52% year on year, marking steady growth. That said, since this is the first year of the agreement, we expect some degree of second half weighting to remain. However, from the second quarter onward, we plan to accelerate our efforts. Already in Q1, SORACOM supported KDDI in formulating its IoT platform strategy, and we will further strengthen collaboration in 3 focus areas: connected cars, OEM provision of a cloud-native mobile core system, and the combination of generative AI and IoT. Now, regarding progress on our new joint venture with the Marubeni Group. As planned, the consolidation of the new company, Misora Connect, as a subsidiary was completed on August 1st. Misora Connect inherits Marubeni Group's full MVNO business with NTT Docomo and merges it with SORACOM's full MVNO technology on KDDI and our global full MVNO capabilities. This fusion will accelerate our customers' digital transformation. Through Misora Connect, we will actively maximize synergy effects, starting with IoT adoption and DX across Marubeni Group's domestic and international businesses. To reiterate, the expected impact of Misora Connect on this fiscal year's results is significant: 1.29 billion yen in revenue, 358 million yen in gross profit, and 175 million yen in EBITDA. These are conservative figures that do not include any upside from synergies between the 2 companies. Already, we have begun reselling Misora Connect's connections via SORACOM, as well as leveraging SORACOM's technology to reduce infrastructure costs. These synergy creation efforts are underway, and we will work to realize additional upside from here. Finally, let's look at our progress toward the full year forecast. Since we use a range for our annual forecasts, I will explain the progress rates relative to the midpoint of the range. The progress rate for recurring revenue is 20.4%, total revenue is 19.7%, gross profit is 20.6%, SGA is 20.8%, and EBITDA is 15.4%. Compared with progress rates in the same period last year, these figures may appear slightly lower. However, since Misora Connect's results will be consolidated from August, taking this into account, both revenue and profit are progressing in line with expectations. That concludes the financial results for the fiscal year ending March 2026. Next, I will share our business highlights. SORACOM was founded in 2015, and this year marks our 10th anniversary. On July 16th, we held our annual conference, SORACOM Discovery, for the 10th time. This year's event attracted more than 2,200 attendees and was a great success, with standing room only crowds at many sessions. Our keynote speakers included Mr. Nagasaki, President of OpenAI Japan, Mr. Ogata, General Manager at Iris Oyama, and Mr. Fujitani, General Manager at Suzuki. Together, we shared customer case studies of generative AI and IoT, as well as new strategies and new product announcements. In the exhibition area, the booths were crowded until the very end of the day, and many participants and partners told us it was the best event they had attended recently. Here are just a few of the latest customer use cases we introduced at the event. From the left, Bandai is using our services for Lavotama, a giant Tamagotchi installed in stores. GMO Financial Gate has adopted our technology for payment terminals used in commercial facilities. Duran is using it for their rental battery service. Internationally, advanced use cases are continuing to emerge. For example, Riddell in the US is equipping American football helmets with smart sensors to help adjust training schedules and reduce the risk of injury. As you can see, our solutions are increasingly being used in familiar, everyday settings, and unique use cases are emerging on a daily basis. As you all know, generative AI is continuing to evolve dramatically. SORACOM has been working in IoT for the past 10 years, with the vision that everything would be connected, data would be collected, new insights would emerge, and the world would become a better place. Now, with generative AI providing the final piece of intelligence, we feel this vision can truly be realized, and we see this as an enormous opportunity. For several years, we have been working with customers on projects that combine generative AI and IoT, and we are convinced that the era in which real-world data is transformed into value through AI has arrived. You could say that the data gathered via IoT, like hidden treasure, is now being unearthed through generative AI. While this era presents huge opportunities, many of our customers still face challenges. Some can collect IoT data through services like SORACOM, but cannot yet connect it to generative AI, limiting its use. Others have internal data scattered across departments, making integration difficult. Ideally, if both IoT data and internal company data could be connected to generative AI, they could generate much greater value. However, customers often face both psychological and technical barriers to achieving this. SORACOM has built deep expertise in IoT data collection and AI integration, and our aim is to remove these barriers, both technical and psychological, to support customers in realizing this potential. With this in mind, we announced a new corporate philosophy and a new platform strategy at this year's event. Here is our new corporate philosophy. Making things happen for a world that works together. Bringing people and things together to build a connected world where all of us will achieve more than any of us can imagine. From connectivity and cloud to AI, and beyond, SORACOM puts advanced technology in the service of community to speak a better tomorrow. IoT and beyond. As a truly global company originating from Japan, we created our corporate philosophy in English. Making things happen reflects our proactive stance to improve the world by connecting things to generative AI and creating a better future. Up to now, we have championed the democratization of IoT. Going forward, we will also democratize generative AI, working with our partners to drive innovations that make the world a better place. Based on this corporate philosophy, we have defined a higher level strategy that encompasses not only IoT, but also the democratization of AI, the real-world AI superconnector. SORACOM will evolve into a real-world AI superconnector that connects everything, both the physical and digital worlds, to AI in order to create a better future. By physical, we mean IoT devices, such as cars, home appliances, and other objects that generate IoT data. By digital, we mean internal business data, production data, HR data, and other corporate data sets. We believe that connecting all of these to AI can generate significant value from our customers' data. In short, SORACOM will help our customers connect everything to AI. To realize the real-world AI superconnector, we made several announcements at our recent event. A few examples. First, we entered into an enterprise agreement for OpenAI's API platform. Through close collaboration with OpenAI, we will accelerate service development and deliver new offerings. Next, we are enhancing SORACOM's own global IoT platform with generative AI, enabling visualization of SORACOM data through AI, simple creation of IoT applications using generative AI, and direct calls to SORACOM from AI clients. Furthermore, we announced Wisora, a new service that makes it easy for anyone to create generative AI bots, essentially democratizing AI bots. A demo will follow. In addition, our SORACAME Cloud Camera service now offers an outdoor starter and solar kit, enabling deployment even in areas without power or network access, and connecting video from anywhere to generative AI. Moreover, for high bandwidth use cases like drones and robots, we introduced a new plan capable of uploading terabyte-scale data. Finally, we launched SORACOM Genie Build, a professional service to support IoT application development and operations, leveraging generative AI to enable prototype creation in just a few days. We would now like to demonstrate one of the services that was very well received at the event, SORACOM Query. While our existing service, SORACOM Flax, enables anyone to easily build IoT applications using generative AI, SORACOM Query is a new AI and IoT service that provides a data analytics platform. It allows users to search and analyze massive volumes of data collected from large numbers of devices, simply and efficiently, by leveraging generative AI. We will now show you the demo. With SORACOM Query, you can simply type a natural language command such as show the location of SIMs currently roaming within the SORACOM platform, and the system will automatically map them on a chart, making the information instantly understandable. If you type display a pie chart by country, the pie chart will appear right away. It's not limited to platform data. IoT sensor data can also be analyzed. For example, entering show the temperature and humidity from the past 2 days of sensor data will display the results in a graph. Furthermore, by adding convert to hourly averages and include heat index and discomfort index, the system will generate a new graph based on those instructions. As you can see from this demo, SORACOM Query is a data analytics platform that enables seamless analysis not only of platform data within SORACOM, but also of IoT data, such as temperature and humidity readings. The next service we would like to introduce is Wisora, our generative AI bot platform, a completely new offering. As background, SORACOM has been automating customer support with AI for the past 2 years. We believe many customers also want to achieve this, but creating a generative AI bot, training it on company data, and deploying it requires both development resources and expertise. Wisora was created to democratize generative AI bots. The name comes from wisdom and SORACOM. Getting started is extremely easy. Register via the web, upload documents, or input URLs for the content you want to train on. The bot can then be deployed to a website, Slack, and more. Possible use cases are broad: customer support, internal help desks, marketing sites, and more. AI bots can respond 24/7, 365, replacing human operators, and can answer in multiple languages, not just Japanese. We will now demonstrate Wisora. You can operate it simply by logging in via the web and either uploading training data as a file or entering a website URL. For example, with SORACOM's SORACOM service, you can just copy and paste the URL, and the system will automatically extract the website's information and proceed with training. Next, by setting the character profile, such as whether it's for a sales representative or customer support, the AI bot will finish training and be ready to use immediately. If you want to publish it on an external page, you can customize the color scheme and description in the public page settings, allowing you to instantly deploy a customer-facing bot. For instance, if you ask about SORACOM's monthly subscription fees, you'll receive a very detailed and accurate answer like this. Wisora will be available starting at just over 30,000 yen per month, with an official release scheduled for later this August. It already has private beta customers and emerging case studies. Currently, it enables easy and fast creation of generative AI bots from internal documents and web data. But in the future, it will also integrate IoT data, evolving into a generative AI agent for the real-world AI superconnector. The next section will cover our growth strategy under the new real-world AI superconnector vision. Our growth strategy has historically had 3 pillars. A. Global expansion. B. Strategic alliances and M&A. C. Initiatives combining generative AI and IoT. The newly announced real-world AI superconnector represents the realization of Pillar C. Of course, this strategy goes beyond just C. By applying the power of generative AI across all areas, we believe it will accelerate growth in our recurring revenue base, global expansion, and strategic alliances. By advancing the real-world AI superconnector concept and strengthening SORACOM's brand in the AI and IoT domain, we will accelerate our growth trajectory. Looking at each pillar in detail, starting with global business. Global revenue for Q1 was 1.05 billion yen, representing 47.3% of total revenue. In global markets, we have previously reported large-scale projects with customers such as Hilton and Bus Patrol. These projects are progressing steadily, and further growth is expected in the second half. We have built a structure that allows us to continuously acquire such large projects, and as existing projects progress and new ones are added, we expect further growth. In addition, while our global presence has so far been primarily recognized as an IoT platform, especially as a connectivity platform, We will now also strengthen recognition as an AI and IoT platform, in other words, the real-world AI superconnector. By promoting high-value-added AI services such as SORACOM Query and SORACOM Flax, we will drive adoption and increase ARPA. In the area of strategic alliances, we are working across multiple domains, including connected cars, partnerships with KDDI, and collaboration with Marubeni. In particular, we are continuing to focus on connected cars, a field in which Japan has unique strengths. With the global platform we are building with KDDI, and with investment from Suzuki, we are steadily advancing initiatives in this space. At our recent event, the AECC exhibited in our booth showcasing Irrigate, a system for redundancy and control of wireless communications for connected cars, jointly tested with Toyota. This was very well received. As part of SORACOM's new releases at the event, we introduced the SORACOM Connectivity Hypervisor, which enables other carriers' communication profiles to be added to a SORACOM SIM. Irrigate is also being tested with this capability. We will meet these demands by developing such features at unprecedented speed using generative AI, contributing Japan's automotive strengths to the world through SORACOM's global connectivity and platform. In M&A, we have consistently considered businesses in the IoT field that can generate recurring revenue. For example, last year we made Carriot a subsidiary, and this year we completed the joint venture with Marubeni, making Misora Connect a subsidiary. Going forward, under the real-world AI superconnector strategy, we will expand our inorganic growth strategy beyond IoT into the AI field, focusing on acquiring recurring revenue services. This will broaden the scope and impact of our inorganic initiatives. Our global platform, SORACOM, will continue to evolve from a mere IoT platform into the real-world AI superconnector. On the IoT device side, we have launched an outdoor version of SORACAME, enabling easy connection of images and video to AI and the cloud. In IoT connectivity, we have introduced high-volume upload plans to support areas such as cameras, AI, and robotics. On the AI cloud side, we are developing new AI services such as Wisora and SORACOM Query. By positioning SORACOM as a real-world AI superconnector, we are expanding our addressable market. Even when looking only at IoT, the global market is estimated to be approximately $1.094 trillion in 2026. SORACOM's main battlefield has been connectivity. With our new announcements, we are expanding into hardware with the outdoor SORACAME, into services with SORACOM Genie Build for IoT application development and operations support, and into software with data analytics platform SORACOM Query and AI-powered IoT app builder SORACOM Flax. In our core connectivity business, we continue to broaden our lineup, including the launch of terabyte-scale high-volume upload plans. Under the real-world AI superconnector strategy, SORACOM will accelerate its reach across the entire IoT market, including software, services, and hardware, beyond just connectivity. To summarize, first, our first quarter results are progressing smoothly, with recurring revenue and total revenue both up nearly 20% year-on-year and EBITDA up nearly 30%. Starting in Q2, Misora Connect's results will be consolidated, so we expect further growth in the second half and beyond. Second, this year, SORACOM celebrates its 10th anniversary, with the real-world AI superconnector strategy driving the launch of multiple new services. Global sales now account for over 40% of total revenue, and strategic alliances, including those with KDDI and in the connected car sector, are advancing steadily. Third, in this era where small teams can change the world, SORACOM is already transforming into an after-AI organization. The results are beginning to show in productivity per employee, and we intend to remain a leader over the next decade, building sustainable medium to long-term growth. Thank you for your continued support. That concludes my presentation. Thank you for your attention.